Hello and welcome to the program. I'm Tom McRae. Thousands of South Africans have joined a protest march organised by trade unions. They're frustrated by rising unemployment, increasing food and fuel costs and daily power outages. Rallies have taken place in all provinces, with the largest in Cape Town and the capital, Pretoria. Two powerful trade federations had called for a total shutdown of the economy, demanding a government cap on fuel, a stable electricity supply and a basic minimum wage. We'll bring in our guests in a moment, but first, Al Jazeera's Famida Miller has more from Pretoria.
A few thousand workers have come out to Pretoria, the capital city of South Africa, to protest against the high cost of living. There are a number of different unions here, but the common thread amongst them all is just how expensive it is to live in South Africa. And that's especially after the COVID-19 pandemic, where thousands of jobs were lost and people were without an income. Now, while the government has put in place a very basic benefit of about $20 a month for those who don't have jobs, it simply isn't enough, especially for the working class, who say they can't afford the escalating cost of electricity, food, which has gone up at least 10% over the last year, as well as the poor transportation and also, again, the high cost of that. Now, they say they want immediate attention from the government, who they say hasn't done enough to address some of these major concerns, especially amongst the working class and the poor. Inflation has gone up by 7.8%, the highest in 13 years. And so for many South Africans, it really is a struggle to survive day to day. Famida Miller, Al Jazeera for Inside Story, Pretoria.
Well, let's have a closer look at the situation in South Africa. The economy has been stagnant since the 2008 financial crisis. It's deteriorated further due to the fallout from the COVID-19 pandemic and the war in Ukraine. Inflation hit a 13-year high in June, mainly driven by rising food and fuel costs. Last year, unemployment hit a record 35%. Now, the figure is even higher if it includes the number of jobless people who've stopped looking for work. Women are among the most vulnerable. Nearly 1 in every 2 women doesn't have an income. Well, let's bring in our guests. In Durban is Becky Nchali-Chali, General Secretary of the Congress of South African Trade Unions, COSATU. In Pretoria is Yanni Rousseau, economist and visiting professor at Wits Business School. And going back to Durban is Dakota Lewete, the national spokesman of the African National Congress. A warm welcome to you all. Thank you very much for being on Inside Story. Let's start with you, Becky, as you call for the strike action. Has it been a success, and is this just going to be the first of many?
Thank you very much. It has been a very successful. You look at the numbers, you look to the impact of the strikes in many of the towns in which we're marching, shops were closed. But this strike, this is a protest action in the main. It's intended to raise the issues and to get the society debating and discussing the problem that they are facing. And hopefully government will then respond to the crisis that we are having. So we raise the crisis, 10 million of unemployed people, 17 million on social grant, 10 million on a 350 rand a month, the electricity problems, the young people unemployed, gender-based violence is going beyond proportions. So we hope that with this action, which was a peaceful, workers were joined by other people in the society raising the same voice about the problem. So we think the message has been driven home. So we can say it's successful.
OK, Dakota, has the message been driven home? Have you, the ANC, have you got the message?
Indeed, we've got the message as the African National Congress, and issues which are raised by the workers are well appreciated. You know that in our country, in line with our practice as a constitutional democracy, workers have a right to strike, have a right to protest or demonstrate, and they've exercised that particular right, which is enshrined in the Constitution of the Republic in terms of Chapter 2 of our Constitution. And I think issues that they are raising are issues that are of serious concern for us as the governing party, in particular issues related to the cost of living, in particular the issue related to unemployment, in particular issues related to energy security, gender-based violence, and general safety in our country are issues that we also, as the African National Congress, take it at heart. And I think it's incumbent upon us as the governing party to take them up with the authorities, because we need to respond to our workers. But so far, with the latest statistics from the job survey yesterday of Statistics South Africa, we've shown a small decline of 3% from 39% of unemployment rate. Now we are standing at 36%, but it's still not positive given the numbers that went down to unemployment as a result of COVID-19, but as a result also of a sluggish economy. And I think it's incumbent upon us as the governing party, as COSATU, as the private sector, to finalize our social compact and find the best way for all of us as a nation to win, because where we are now, we are not in a good position.